All right, everyone, how's it going? Hopefully, it wasn't as glitchy as it was last week. So,
No, I was
Look,
watching. It looked much better this week.
looked way better.
all right.
That amazing intro. Some genius recorded that. I don't know who it was.
Oh my God, this guy.
Not
Give
this
that guy an
genius.
Oscar. Give that guy an Oscar.
I don't know about that. And some editing was done on that by two individuals that are, I don't know.
I mean, that part was okay. It was
Oh,
what was captured within it that was so good.
you're the worst. Oh, thanks, Jazzy.
Thanks, Mel.
So, yeah, this week we're going to be talking about our Legacy tournament coming up. Legacy 2, Ryan's putting that on, essentially.
Electric Boogaloo. Don't
Yeah.
forget that part.
Oh my God, Electric
Yep.
Boogaloo. What are you, Joe?
Hell yeah. I just like adding Electric Boogaloo to everything. What's up, Reg?
Hey, Reg, how you doing?
And we're also going to be talking about some stuff going on with Patreon. Since we're
Yep.
not really having a tournament this month, we got a few things going on with that. So,
Yeah. Why don't we start with Legacy and end with Patreon stuff? Get some people a little time to join here.
absolutely. All right. So, if you guys don't know, we had a Legacy 1. We had a winner decided on that. Two teams were banned from play, and we're moving on to Legacy 2. That means you can build anything you want as long as it doesn't include those two teams. And the Yonti Pureblood, Epic Humanoid, and Cosmic Cube.
Cosmic Cube.
And Ryan, what's the date that everyone has to sign up by?
Not this Friday, but next Friday, the 27th. You need to be signed up and have your teams submitted. So we are doing things slightly different this time around with the team submissions. The way it's working, we have the form up. We've posted it several places, but if you missed it anywhere, crgr.rocks, and there's a link to it up there. Fill it out. All we ask for at that time is your name and your Discord name. And once we get that, I will create a private channel for you on our Discord server so that you can then post your team links. And you can post as many teams as you want in there. Whatever your last two teams are when the deadline hits, those are the teams that are your all others I will delete from that channel. No one will see all of them, anything like that. Um, no one else has access to those channels other than myself and the individual that it's designated for. So this way, if we're not waiting for the very end to get all the submissions. People can put their submissions in now. We've already had several people already put in their submissions for their teams and whatnot. So yeah, Chris, you are one of them.
I am not.
No, you are not. So, but I need to go through and validate just to double check, make sure there's no illegal cards on those teams. And that's part of the reason why we're doing it this way is so we're not flooding ourselves at the very end trying to do that, try to get a little bit done ahead. So, that being said, we currently have 15 people signed up for the tournament. One person, unfortunately, is not an active member of our Discord channel, so I've been trying to get them to join. If they are not able to join our Discord server by that date, they will be dropped from the server. It is a requirement for us that you be on our Discord server to participate in the event. I'm sorry.
And that's two tournaments past that we required that from people. So it's
Yeah, it's been a while. This isn't the first time, but this is the first time it's actually come up so far.
Yeah.
If you entered and you're not part of our specific Discord server, you will be dropped from the tournament. You said
Yes.
you will be dropped from the server, but yeah,
No, sorry, dropped from the tournament. Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
They can't be dropped from
tournament.
the server if they're not on the server.
Yeah, if they're not on the server, I can't drop them from the server.
I know it's all shucks on your side for that one, but
Yeah. So, just a reminder for everyone, you can go to crgr.rocks, and we do have the legacy ban list up on the top of it. If you're on a mobile device, you do need to click the little three little lines to see the additional links, and it will show up there. They are broken up between basic action cards and everything else to make it real easy. And everyone can rejoice. Ben is very frustrated that Cake is banned.
all his babies are banned.
Not
Yeah,
just games,
all of his things he was really hoping to play with were banned this time. So
except for Professor X.
Yeah, some reason that one didn't get banned. That's shocking.
Soulmonger got banned, but not Professor X.
No one was
I know. I
expecting
was
that.
very upset about Soulmonger. That's one of my babies.
Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, all of the good fixing stuff is kind of like it's all gone.
Clubs
Food
are-
and
No,
Water,
we've got
Resurrection, Villainous Pack. We got Atlas is like the only one left.
And we've got a couple of people, longtime, online community members, but as far as I know, have actually never participated in a two-team takedown.
Oh,
have
really?
actually joined in this one. So,
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know
looking
that.
forward to that. Let's see, trying to think if that's all we've got for two-team takedowns. Legacy Season 2.
It's going to be played weekly, so you have time to schedule
Yes.
it with your opponent. So don't fret if they're in
Yeah,
the UK or something like that. You still have time to schedule it with them.
Yeah, unlike say the Rest of Worlds or the Weekly Dice Arena or things like that, we do not try to complete the entire round in one day. We, as much fun as that would be, unfortunately, that is way too much of a time commitment for
Us.
all the people involved.
And for us,
Um,
really.
Well, no, for us, for everyone,
Yeah.
players, everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So- So and also just depending on how many people entered is going to depend. That's going to
Depends the number of rounds.
that's going to show how many rounds we have. There we go. Yeah.
So we are currently at 4 rounds. So it'll be 4 weeks. But if we do get to 16 players, which we are currently one shy of, it will go to 5 rounds.
Ooh,
I thought
sign
it
up
was.
people.
I thought it was 4 rounds until we hit 24.
I thought it was 16, but I'll double check that while we're
Because we had
last
one
time
too
we
many.
had-
We had 18, and it was
and we
one too
only
many
had
rounds.
4. Yeah,
hold
we had
on.
4 with the.
We'll get
what
it
was the
figured
last
out.
round we
We'll get
called
it figured
We'll
out.
figure it out.
The fellowship
I'll
round.
figure it out while we finish talking about other stuff.
Yeah, the fellowship round happened as round 5. But yeah, sign up, guys. The last day is the 29th. What was it?
27th.
The fellowship
Next
round,
Friday.
or is what Robert told me to my face. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of, and I came up with it. So yeah.
Yeah, it's if we get 17 or more players, it goes to 5 rounds.
Okay.
16 players is the cutoff for 4 rounds.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And if somehow we make it to 129 players, we have to go to 8 rounds. Just letting you know.
100. Jeez. Everybody sign up right now.
I might have to take my hat out of the ring for that one. That's too many rounds. Jesus. And we're doing just exclusively Swiss. We're not doing a cutoff
Yeah.
or anything like that. So
Yeah, we're Swiss only for these rounds. The Invitational will have a top cut.
mhm.
You know, that does determine our winner for the year. So
yeah, it's our world championship for the channel only.
Yep.
But
not the rest of worlds, not the worlds, none of that stuff. This is the the CR Game Room, 2019 Legacy Champion. So,
we have to come up with some awesome name like Continental or Intercontinental Champion because we're not the world champion place.
the
but-
24/7 champion steal the new WWE Championship one.
What? That's a thing?
Yeah, they brought. It's actually an old thing that they've brought back. They're
24/7 champion.
You're at any date and time. Someone, if you can be out, if you're the champion and you're out in a bar, another wrestler can attack you and pin you if they've got a referee with them, and they can win the title from you.
Or you're hanging out with your family and your kids, and someone goes to the zoo and body slams you and pins you in front of your kids. Yeah, it's totally
Well,
fair.
so the big news on this one was this last Monday. It was televised that Kane, we all remember Kane, who's currently the mayor of a city in Tennessee. He's not really active wrestler anymore, but he's a mayor. They were in Tennessee. WWE was in Tennessee, and he was showing around R-Truth and a couple other people to different events. And R-Truth is the current 24/7 champion. And at one point, brought a police officer, in to talk to everyone. And the police officer was actually a referee, and ended up pinning R-Truth and becoming the champion.
Oh
and
my
of course,
God.
later, our
That's the
truth got the
most-
title back from him, the same night.
The most
But-
WWE thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
All right.
total random news for the day for
There
everyone.
you go.
Oh my god! I bet
What's
him
up,
as the
Davis?
mayor of Tennessee was basically like, "All right, geez, I guess you could do that when we're trying to show you around the town. All right."
Yep.
Why not?
Um,
Okay. So matches will start on which day?
So the Monday after, I believe that's the 30th.
Okay. Yep, that's about right. Sounds
Yep,
right.
The 30th, we will announce pairings. So
And once pairings are announced, you get with your opponent and
you
work
have
together.
until noon the following Monday to report your match, because
Yep.
at noon on Monday, we will report. Make the next announcements, next pairings.
Yep.
and you can go to our website and get a heads up on the standings and everything like that, because everything's
Yep.
posted there first, and our Discord, because we try to keep everything there. But it's just a link from our website, essentially.
Yep.
Exactly.
And speaking of our website, we just had an awesome article put up there by our very own Ben Scott, or Ben
We've had a
Sedska.
couple of articles
Yeah.
actually come up this last week because I was lazy and forgot to press a button. for another article.
Yeah, so we announced Legacy One's championship. And we also, Ben wrote an article about his experience in Memphis and playing in the World Championships and his thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! And anything else that went on, and meeting us, very sleepily meeting us.
Yeah.
So I think
It's
he
a
did
really good article, guys. Check it out. It's called Walking in Memphis, The True Life of a World Champion, Ben said Scott.
There's a lot more words in that title than there are actually in that title. Is that
Okay, I added some things, but all of those words should have been in there, all right?
Walking in Memphis is the short title.
It was the short title, yeah.
It's
the
being-
book, we're still working on getting the book written.
I thought it was the movie. I don't know.
The movie. We're working on that. We're working on that. But yeah, it's up. It's great. Check it out. And also, like Ryan said, he pressed the button, and now there is another article up with the Legacy One winner and a breakdown of the two teams that he had on there.
And
Which is really cool.
the breakdown's actually written by Jesco himself.
Oh,
nice.
Did a little
I didn't know
interview
that.
with him. Got feedback from him as far as his stuff from his teams and whatnot. So that is not my interpretation of anything. That is literally from the winner himself on that one. What
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So
If I
again,
was-
I highly recommend that one.
If I was to do my impression of a team, I don't know. It looks like they just threw some shit on a team and played it.
Yeah, no, trust me. I am not a commentator. I look at a lot of these team builds and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on here. I don't play anymore.
Yeah.
We need to fix that, Ryan.
Yeah. Well, he's running the
Ben
legacy.
is saying he's happy to go with the 24/7. He's happy anyone to challenge him anytime.
Oh.
So
You have to put up your factory Yu-Gi-Oh sets, though, if
Here-
you got them.
he
I
doesn't
think
have
he's
them.
down to one, or he may not even have any anymore.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I know the Guardian set got taken care of in one of the Yu-Gi-Oh sets. So
Man.
I don't think he wanted to take him through customs.
yeah,
So-
no, I don't think he wanted to bring those home with him.
I mean, it'd be kind of weird to explain, sir, why did you bring two of the same things? That's just weird. Are you trying to sell them?
Actually, at first it would have been, why did you bring three of the same things? No. One of these is different.
Yeah.
Really?
They look the
Well,
same.
yeah. This one doesn't have a play mat. The other ones have play mats.
Oh,
yeah, he's down to zero.
sets.
Yep.
It's unfortunately.
A cage match. There you go.
Cage match
Ladder.
and chairs.
A ladder match.
TLC. Ladders, tables, and chairs.
There you go. What was the one that Razor Ramon he did with the 1-2-3 kid? It was the bottle. And
That was the ladder matches where you had to climb up to the top of the ladder to release the belt from the ring above the ring.
Well, that was that. But there was one where he put him in a diaper and gave him a bottle. I don't think that
Oh
was
hell,
the
who
same
knows
one.
what half of those stupid matches were.
I used to love the 1-2-3 kid. And then he became X-Pac, and then I stopped
Yeah.
watching wrestling.
And yeah, we won't get into what happened to him after that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine.
So, getting back to
Getting back to Dice Masters.
Wrestling's coming though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Wrestling.
oh my gosh. So
We're in Texas. It is wrestling.
It's wrestling.
and
Going down to the sportatorium to watch some wrestling.
Joe announced on social medias that we're going to be bringing back Brewers Corner. We're in
With
the
a slight twist.
yeah
With a
this-
twist.
I think we're doing it better, honestly.
We'll find out.
It's for the viewer to decide. But we're in the process of doing the final touches on that. We're gonna start recording and getting that done. We're gonna put a whole lot more thought into it this time and have a finished, polished product as best as we can. Which, I mean, that's not saying much, but
It's not very polished, but it'll look like something.
it'll be
It'll be a
polished
product. It's a product. You can we'll just call it that. It's a product.
because I want to put out content that I'm happy about and proud of. And I think our commentary or live streams with the matches, I'm kind of proud of that, even though I think it doesn't look like Twitch streamer quality or tournament style quality.
Well, it's good when we have a chance to prepare for it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when we're doing the on the fly, oh my God, there's a match about to start. Who can we get in here? Then we kind of
Yeah.
fall down a little bit. But
Just a little bit.
yeah.
24 hours notice is best because we can look at the teams and think
Yeah.
of how it would go. So that's one thing I will say that I appreciate when people let us know ahead of time because can prepare for it and let my wife know, hey, I'm going to do this. And she'll be like, okay, I don't care. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I did get a good bit of flattery this week. DM North has stolen my 3-camera positioning.
Oh no.
You know, with full props. They flat out told me, you know, that it was all inspired by the camera's work from Worlds and whatnot. But
Nice.
yeah, for their new match, and it was their quarterfinal match between Reg and I apologize, Reg, if you're still in the chat. I don't remember who your opponent was off the top of my head, but this was for the quarterfinals of the Rest of Worlds top 8 or top 4. They recorded this and posted the video the other day.
was it Ben?
I don't. It might have been Ben, but I don't remember. I know.
or True Mr. Six?
No, it was not True Mr. Six. Yeah, it was Ben. It
Yeah.
was Ben.
It was a
So
person.
Ben won. No, so yeah, the finals of that somehow or another is down to Ben Said Scott and True Mr. Six Sheets to the Wind, Chris Williams.
Love that nickname.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I can't wait for that match. Yeah, the 3-camera setup that you had and developed for the Worlds was amazing.
It was dope.
Yeah, let's
Well,
not get
thank
too new generation, okay? It was good. It was really
It was
good.
sick. Sick AF.
It works really good for live.
Yeah, for live events it works great. The camera angles when he put the two of them together side by side and the one angle's off a little, my OCD in my brain was screaming at me, but I understood that's the best you can do with a scenario like that. And so
Yeah.
it was very nice to see that was carried over, and I like the work he's done with that one. So that was Reg and Jordo, to my knowledge, were the ones worked on that one. So
Awesome.
good props to those guys.
Yeah, I would like to get our get a little bit because I don't have a pad to put anything on. I think that's much easier to do stuff when you have just a pad to push everything. I'm manually doing everything on the side whenever we're doing a match.
Well, luckily, I don't. Will it reach the camera? No, it won't reach the camera.
I can see it.
quite there.
Yeah.
I've got my little pads to control it all, and the new setup is nice enough that I can be controlling what's on your screen for the stream display and whatnot. So
Nice. All right. So yeah, that's that. Can't wait for the tournament to start, and can't wait to find out who wins the rest of the Worlds. So.
Well, now one thing I'd like to touch on for the Brewers Corner. How are we choosing what card you guys are brewing? How's that coming about?
Well,
I'm glad you asked.
Yeah. Go ahead, Robert.
Oh, did you? I
Horrible
just
segue
wanted to
there,
throw that in
right?
there. Yeah. So we are asking our Patreons to submit cards to us that they would like us to brew around. Um, we're gonna ask, probably expand that out to the community. Maybe we'll have some cards for our own. But first and foremost, our Patreons will get first pick. So if you join our Patreon, you get to basically tell us what to do sometimes, and that's one of the ways that you can do that. And we'll brew around any card that you tell us, as long as there's multiple copies of it. Well, even, I don't know. Maybe we'll eventually we can do one, one offs also, and see how we can work with those. I'm sure we can all do one off cards, and everyone has a different team to build around it. But yeah, Patreon is the way to do it if you want a card for us to brew around.
And we have 2 in the pipeline that we got coming up that we're going to do, and I think we're going to have 2 more decided on pretty quickly after that. So
Yep.
I
I
think
already have one completed.
Mhm.
I have the second one that was submitted. I have a team for it, but I don't know if that's the card that um, I wanted to choose or not, because I don't know if
or if
someone
you're
else
going to
wanted
be
it.
picking.
I mean, I already got the team built for it, so it's done.
Hope so.
Yeah, so it's fine. I mean, it's there already, ready to go, man.
Yeah.
So
Robert picks the worst card, so he knows that he'll probably be able to pick it.
yeah, I do it on purpose. I don't have to change what I did already.
Yeah.
But yeah, these are going to be fun teams. There's going to be restrictions to it. There's going to be modern only at this point, I think. Just depends on how we're feeling. And also, we're trying not to keep them competitive. We want them to be fun teams. So we're taking out like Shrieks. Shriek is not going to be part of any of our builds, just because Shriek kind of takes the fun away from it. And then, if you're going up against it, then you have to have your opponent has to have a Shriek just to deal with your Shriek. It's like, you know what? Let's build a team specifically for these cards. There are going to be some control pieces, obviously, because everything but needs control, like a Green Devil Mask, Chris.
Someone fought for a Green Devil Mask to always be allowed in every build because they're like, I make all my teams with it. Why can't I build that?
Also, there will be spots for rare blob, because you can get rid of a rare blob with a Green Devil Mask and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But a lot of these teams that you're building for are going to require you to have walls, because they're not meta cards. So I think it's just fun. I think it's fun that way. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks that.
I mean, I think that's the way it kind of works out in any kind of like on the spot constructed or draft events. It's going to lead to walls. So
Yeah.
Well,
For sure. And some of the cards that we have, I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but I'm sure that they work best with or without walls. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one of the cards that I'm building around, which was our first choice, is going to, the thinner the opponent's field, the better for me. So there's that. That's one of the main reasons for the Green Devil Mask. So
right.
there
Plus, whatever
Well,
reasons you
we're
have
not
to
being
do.
vague for for a reason. We're being vague because we're still deciding a couple of things. So
Yeah.
we go. For sure. Yeah. So take
don't
these
wanna
little,
say
these little
something
hints
and,
and spoilers for it, and you'll see what we're gonna do with it. Hopefully, we'll have these out sooner than later, because I feel like we're probably like 65% of the way there.
Yeah.
I think.
One of the team members still has to submit their team that they built, but they can build it. Yeah, Ben.
Sorry, something in my throat there. But yeah,
But he said he should have it pretty quickly, so
Yeah,
I trust him.
nice.
But
So Shriek, Ben is the one that blanks the. Which one is it? Sonic Beam? Is that the one?
Sonic Beam is the individual blanker, and
I don't have a problem with the other two though. I think those are pretty good.
yeah, but if you're not going to have one of them,
the prismatic spray rebuild, Dark Empathy.
yeah, that's really good in a collector build, honestly. Oh. I remember when you were so excited to get that, then you realized it was the 4 cost and not the 3.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, that's totally the wrong card.
Not the one I want.
Yeah, you still put it on a team because like I just like the artwork.
I mean, you know what it's supposed to be. It's fine. We know what it is. But yeah,
and I think that's going to take us into the next point of Since
Yeah, why don't we use that as the segue to jump into our Patreon stuff?
Speaking
that
of Patreons.
yeah. Speaking of Patreon, so as Robert mentioned, we do actually have a private Discord channel with our any active patrons. We do discuss a lot of stuff going on there. So we would like for anyone to become a patron and be able to join us in those conversations. But additionally, there's 3 tiers to our Patreons. Tier 1's just the $1 tier. You get to join us in that private Discord. But to incentivize for the other tiers, our tier 2, which is a $5 package, and tier 3, which is a $10 package, on any month in which we do not run a tournament, we will hold raffles for prizing. And so as
such as this,
or
Oh, what is that?
I want to show off too. Here's a AVX.
yeah, so we've got several different prizing. We're not quite sure, but the $5 tier gets you 1 entry into the raffle. The $10 tier gets you 2 entries into the raffle. Now, additionally, Chris and Rob both have joined as patrons of our channel, and as they are members of the game room, I can't let them win. That's just wrong of me to let a prize go to the game room ourselves.
It's not wrong to let Chris have Serena, though. That's not wrong at all.
Nothing wrong with that.
But as such, both Chris and Rob are going to give away their raffle entry to someone else, whether it's another patron or someone else. That it's up to them to decide who they're going to give it to before the drawing.
It may even be just a raffle on our side deciding who gets it. So
yeah,
that's
we'll just
that's
do
up
a
to
randomizer and we'll figure it out.
Right
Either
now,
way, we're giving our spots away.
Right now, it's not that hard.
We could some other things that might come up. Alt art signed Professor X promo.
We have 3 or 4 shiny resurrections, 1 signed. Robert has that.
Somewhere.
We've got foil lantern ring. We've got lots of things. So
and some of the
by
stuff
all
is going to go
means-
to tournament stuff too. This isn't just
some of this is tournament stuff. Some of this is but again, any month that we don't have a tournament, so there's no prizing going out in that month, it seems silly of us to collect that Patreon money for nothing. So this is our way of going, no, there's still a reason to do this. The reason we have the Patreon is to be able to put money into prizing, to ship out prizing, for stuff. As previously mentioned for season 1, you got your choice of any of the OP kits released this year, and you got one of was it Grindelwald's Fury from the Warhammer Basic Action promo. We had Jezco won that international player, so shipping was not the cheapest, but that's why we have the Patreon, is to cover that and send that out. So
hold on.
and it was a box, a package sealed, Grindelwald's Fury on that one. So
Oh, nice.
That one right there.
That's lovely.
So
Pretty cool.
So this isn't to help pay for our channel, pay for our websites, or anything like that. This is literally for us to be able to give back to you guys, to the tournaments and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I hope to have a lot more details coming up, but we're working on a lot of things in that side. So
all the stuff we got at Worlds, I basically collected everything, and I'm saving it for giveaways and all that.
I can't say everything I collected at
Yeah.
Worlds is that way, but a vast majority of what little I was able to collect at Worlds is for that.
Nice.
Can I interest a patron in pirates?
Oh my gosh.
You have, what, 5 of them?
Yeah. Little side note. I was entered into a draft, and I drafted 5 of the same pirates, and I had 10 dice, and I purchased almost all of them.
9
Almost.
out of 10 dice.
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
pirate synergies.
9 out of 10 would pirate.
Yeah, we've got TOA draft packs that we could
Oh.
be, give away as prizing. There's
That's
plenty of different
tasty.
prizing. The prizing that we will be giving away in the raffle will be announced before the raffle. But again, if you want to join in on this, join our Patreon. Okay. I'm even going to go so far. I haven't cleared this with Chris or Rob or Joe or Ben
Uh-oh.
or anyone else.
An exclusive here.
But
So
it's
this
with-
hold on. This is off the cuff. It's dangerous when
this
you
is
go
off the cuff. But for this month, for this month, I'm going to I'm going to change the entries. Tier 1 gets 1 entry, tier 2 gets 2 entries, tier 3 gets 3 entries.
Oh.
If you are a Patreon of any level, you will have an entry into the raffle for this month.
There you go. Entry level.
And let's just say this is just for this first giveaway that we're doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this isn't something that's going to go forward for everyone, but as this is our first raffle, I want to make it big. So,
Yeah.
And you have to be You have to be a Patreon on or
before the end of the month.
Yeah.
Before the end of the month, when the
Which is
when the
the
first of the month
30th.
hits and the Patreon stuff all clears, boom, that's when we're going to do the raffle from that stuff. So,
Can we mention the tier cost?
so tier 1 is
Okay.
$1.
$1,
Tier-
guys.
Tier 2, which will give you 2 entries this month, is $5. And tier 3, which is $10, will give you 3 entries. Normally it only gives you 2. This month only it gives you 3.
For only pennies a day, you can help support the CR Game Room in getting our prizing out.
And
join raffles
we
and
guarantee
stuff.
that any of the prizing will match at least $10 minimum.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely.
so.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have a lot of stuff in backlog to give away or for championships or whatnot. So if it gets to a point where it's like we don't have the stuff in the backlog, we will purchase something with the Patreon
yeah.
money.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
That's exactly what it's there for.
I think
So,
one of our biggest goals with the Patreon money is to try to get us a cool mat going.
Yeah.
And I think that would be
we're almost
awesome.
there. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm blowing the wad a little bit by adding extra raffle tickets into this this month, but we are right there to where I think the next one we will have a custom playmat available.
oh
And if you
So-
guys have been in Patreon, you've been able to see some of Robert's designs that he's doing for the channel to possibly do for a playmat. So if you want to be able to see that, see designs that we're working on or anything like that, that's another exclusive thing that you can see on our Discord if you're a Patreon.
yep, for sure.
And again, if you're not sure where our Patreon is, please just go to crgr.rocks. We've got a link to it from there. So
There's a
The
link to our
is in the
website.
description.
Yep.
hmm
All the links
yeah,
are
in the description of this video. You're right. I forget about
There
that.
Yeah,
I'm
I-
here to plug the website.
Plug the website. That is Ryan's baby, guys. Ryan is doing a hell of a job maintaining that website, getting everything up. So give the man
Thank you.
give the man a round of applause there.
As long as it doesn't have graphics, I'm good with it. If you guys want graphics on there, I'm not your guy.
We're working on that.
It's
Yeah.
fine. It's fine. It looks great. I like the way it looks. It's very simple and clean, and it's not confusing or anything like that. So
And
I think it's fantastic.
as soon as we start adding in our Magic content, it'll be there too. So
Yep.
we're
As we mentioned last week, I did a lot of reorganization of the Discord channels. So, Magic content is separate from the Dice Masters content. If you're here for one or the other, it makes it easy to mute the other, so to speak. And that's that type stuff. So,
But by the way, Robert, we're probably gonna be getting rid of the Magic Discord, so we could just all have it on this one Discord, and people could just mute the Discord for the other one.
Oh, okay.
So
That's fine.
I didn't know you guys had a separate Discord for that. So,
there wasn't much
that's what
in
I
there.
get for not being a Magic player.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not. It's a small, very, very small amount of people know. Less than 10, maybe.
There's 3 people that are part of our Discord, anyways, that are in there. Well, actually 6 because there's us, and
There you go. See,
2
less
other
than
people that
10.
aren't. Yeah.
So
So
there we go. Yeah, we'll combine them, and we'll have our own channels for that in there, and it'll be fine.
and you can mute whatever you don't want to hear or see or anything like that, because Magic comes out with stuff all the time. So there's all kinds of spoilers that we try to post in there and everything like that. So
Faux show.
And again, the website is set to be able to handle all that as well. Just you guys will have to deal with posting that stuff, not me.
Now that I've helped with posting something, I kind of
You understand the process, so it's not that hard.
no.
Cool.
I just need to teach you to use categories better.
I didn't see a cat. All right, well, we'll talk about this. We'll talk about this later. We'll talk about this later. My web designing career is very short so far. But yeah, and honestly, I don't want this to turn into an infomercial for Patreon, but I really do feel like if you guys want to see a few more things that we're trying to do, because we are trying to do more stuff. We're trying to be proud of what we do and trying to do things that we think you guys will be interested in, trying to do it for Patreon and the audience as a whole. So
Right.
Faux show. I'm excited for the legacy, man. I have my teams ready. I just don't want to post them yet.
Well, only I would see them, so only I would have to laugh at them.
what's funny is when we first started getting into the building of it, Robert was trying to go through, all right, well, I need to find basic actions. And he's like going through and he's like, all right, I think I'm just going to put create food. Oh, I'm going to put red.
It's always
oh.
whatever you want is what you
Yeah.
instantly find out has been banned.
Exactly.
And that's the beauty of it. Whether you call it Exclusion League, Legacy, whatever.
Yeah.
Once you start that ban and you get 2 or 3 layers deep on it, you start having to get crazy.
Yeah.
We're never going to
Accurate.
survive unless we
It
go
was
crazy.
I don't think it was that hard to build the team, but it definitely took some thinking.
I know what you're playing, and it's not that far off of what you normally play. So
Well, one of the teams, the other two are kind of.
I
I
don't know
already
about
have
that.
3 teams?
I built 3 teams because I don't know which 2 I'm going to run. I have to adjust one of them because I have Iceman on it, everybody, and I don't know how I'm going to do it, and I don't really want him on there because he's not what I'm trying to do with it. If that makes any sense.
yeah, and we were talking, and I was like, that Iceman makes 0 sense on your team. And he's like, well, if I do this, this, and this. And I was like, but you got to
you're
limit.
never going to actually do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of a stretch. So I'm like, all right, fine. Like, you're right.
This is
we'll
not
get-
Green Devil Mask situation right here that I'm talking about. This is
Mm-hmm.
an actual situation where it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. You're right. You're right. So I got to adjust this one. I kind of want it's a pingy team, so that's why I had him in there, and just so you know,
Ben, I don't think
I
you
had
could ever
hope.
go casual, honestly. Let's be
totally
honest.
cash.
Yeah. Um,
Well, excuse me, gentlemen. I need to step away for just a minute. I'll be right back. So.
All right.
oh, God, it's just us now.
What are we gonna do? But yeah, it's a pingy team. Hope is on there, so I was kind of going to use Hope just to
Get her banned.
have her copy different things. Not so much just copy Iceman, but there's other characters on the team that I wanted to use to get the copy ability out there. So
Because, I mean, honestly, her copying Iceman doesn't make much sense because you can't do much to her.
I can change one of the things out, but I'm using it on a different team. So if I decide to run that team, I can't use it on this team.
Yeah, I just don't think it
That's
makes
the
sense.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So it's too much. There's too many moving parts, and that's why I'm thinking of taking Iceman off, or just not run that other team, and then it'll make sense.
so I'm basically playing 2 teams that I should have taken to Worlds that I felt more comfortable with and more confident in. And I just fell in love with the shiny thing that Laurier was playing, and I just went with that and didn't go with one that I was confident with. So that I'm thinking about doing an article about do's and don'ts for playing competitive, but I don't know if I'm going to do that because I think there's so many articles out about many better writers than me.
The thing about it, if you're gonna do a do's and don'ts, you only know how to do the don'ts.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a very one-sided article.
It'd be like in the vein of how to lose a guy in 10 days, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
But hopefully Matthew McConaughey will show up and save the day, and it'll be fun.
all right. But
We'll see.
I may even just
Rookie numbers.
yeah. Oh, my God. Oh man. Don't play.
Don't play.
Oh my God. We got to deal with the confidence with Ben for so long now in our private conversations
I know.
with him now.
Well, and think how much worse it's going to be if he wins the rest of Worlds too.
Yeah,
Oh
True
my
Mr.
God.
6, please beat Ben.
I'm so torn on this one.
I'm not.
I know you guys are. Ah.
He just don't play me. That's the
I
article,
can't-
Ben.
It like tears at my soul to try to root and wish Chris good luck. I just
Here's the thing, though.
how about this? I just wish Ben bad luck.
Okay, we'll take that.
But you got to think about it like this: who do you have to talk to and play with a whole lot more and have their ego be ridiculous? Ben, I can't trust you. You say you're not going to win, but 3 factory sets say differently, and 2 of them Yu-Gi-Oh.
He probably would have had a third one if he hadn't gotten pulled into the preview draft too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, he was 1-1. The person that won was 5-0. And
Yeah.
so
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I gotta
Okay.
say, I was the only one on the channel that wasn't on stream, and I'm kind of glad I wasn't. The only time that it would have been good was on the very first game when it went off really well.
I was never on stream.
You were handling the stream. Oh man.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think I would have fared better than what Robert fared. He's not very lucky on stream at.
In big competitions, I'm not
it was
good on stream.
amazing to see the turn of luck that players would have. They, because I, once a match was over, I'd go and I'd watch other matches, and I'd see teams just do fantastic, and the players run them fantastic, and be like, okay, cool. Hey, you know what? I'm gonna get that guy on stream for the next round. They get on stream, and then it's just like
Kiss of death.
How do I play this game again?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, Ben, you're talking for Worlds. We're talking for Pauper on Sunday.
Yeah, someone was 5-0. Well, 4 and 1 draw. One.
I thought they had like two buys or whatever because of the drops.
Yeah, I think they did, but yeah, they were 3 and 0.
I think there was only 5 rounds. We only did 5 rounds on Pauper.
But 3 and 0 played and 2 and 0 dropped.
Yeah,
So,
something like that.
but yeah,
Sometimes it bees that way, man.
yeah. I think honestly, the thing to be better at playing competitive, practice what you play more often. Give it actual thought, and
Yeah.
don't go in and on a whim and say, screw it, I'll play Worlds. I don't care. That's not a good attitude to take into playing in Worlds.
Yeah, Chris got distracted by that shiny new team and
Well,
didn't play what he knew.
we were talking about it beforehand, then all the prizing was announced, and I was like, oh, I can't play my uncommon fix it. I don't know if that'll do well. Turns out it didn't matter. I didn't do well anyways.
I think you could have done well with it.
I think for what was going on, I think because everyone else is playing walls for the most part. And that Hulk, the uncommon fixes team does not care what the opponent's playing at all. Yeah. All right. I guess we need to stop talking about my frustration with myself. So,
Move it along. Henry C got 5-0. Yep, that was it.
yeah.
Cool. So we covered Legacy. We covered Patreon. We covered our bad experiences. Talked a little bit about the Brewers Corner.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got?
Well, I mean, there was Rest of Worlds that happened this last weekend that I was TOing for. So we had a lot of fun with that. As we mentioned, we're down to the finals of Chris Williams versus Ben Said Scott. So we
When is
cut
that
it off at
happening?
the. Well, we played. It was played all day on Saturday, but we cut it off at the top 4 just because it was getting so late for most of the international players. And we told those guys that for the last 3 matches, they had the week to get them done. So they were Chris and I can't remember
Troy?
his opponent. No, Troy actually dropped before the tournament started.
Oh.
But Chris and Jesco, I think it actually was. It was Jesco or Peter DV. I apologize. I don't have the standings in front of me. But they did. They had their match pretty much the next day, and then Reg and Ben had theirs very quickly thereafter. And so both of those matches have happened, and we're down to that last match. So don't know when Reg and Ben will have that match, but definitely looking forward to seeing the outcome of it.
Chris and Ben.
Or-
Definitely
sorry.
let us know. Keep us posted so we can promote it or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that's a big deal with the online community. Online tournaments like that are awesome, and they just keep everyone involved in the game. So
Yep.
the more people know about it, the better.
And I can tell you
So-
this, WizKids does notice that there's a lot of people playing online, and a lot of
Yeah.
the people at the Worlds. What's the stat? Was it a good portion of them prepared or played online in our tournaments, or did two-team takedown to prepare for Worlds?
I guarantee you, probably 95% of the people that I interacted with, I've met them online in some capacity, or they told me they play online.
Mm-hmm.
So that was pretty cool. Like, whoa, that's a lot.
Yeah.
So that's pretty awesome. So can we touch on what Ben said here in the chat? He said the best advice that he has for people that are playing is to know how to use your opponent's stuff, or to stay alive against their stuff. And the best way to do that is to play lots of games and know what they're running.
Yeah.
So you get that knowledge through playing games.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good advice. One of the biggest tools you can use against your opponent is the globals that they bring, or their basic actions like mutation.
Oh, I love that one.
Polymorph. Those are awesome removal that your opponent will bring for you. What is another one that's really good?
Confront the Mighty. Oh my God, that's such a good card.
You can use that against your opponent.
Yeah. Because it.
Now, to answer Ben's next question of why do we think we didn't see as many collector Navi teams at World, I don't know. I thought there was going to be a lot more collector Navi teams at Worlds. I think, honestly, one of the reasons we didn't see a lot is a lot of the people that I talked to that ran collector teams said they didn't physically own a Navi.
Oh, that's interesting.
Another.
So in online play,
We proxy.
we can proxy and skirt around that, but at an official event like that, if you don't own it, you can't play it. And there was at least 3 guys that I know physically ran collector variant teams with no Navi on it. And when I talked to them about it, their response was, "Well, I don't own a Navi."
Yeah, I think Ian actually was doing Navi Firefly.
Yeah.
So that one, it's a variation of, like you said, of a collector. So, man, that's interesting. Yeah, I didn't even think about that because
I think
I
if
guess-
you're going to Worlds and if you ask people, hey, can I borrow someone's Navi for the tournament if you're not going to use it? If they get a stake in your winnings, they might be willing to do that, like one card
Well,
that
it's
you
like
get.
Dano, one of our local guys, one of the Metroplex area guys that went with us up to Memphis. He originally was thinking of a collector style team, but couldn't run one because he didn't own Navi.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I also think a lot of people fell in love with Iceman and were teching against it. And
Well, and I called that one, saying everyone was teching for Iceman, that I didn't think we would see as many Icemans. And I mean, going through the team sheets, he was there, but he was not as prevalent as I think everyone was expecting.
yeah, he was the boogeyman of the tournament that people were afraid of, and he
Yeah.
didn't show up as much.
Yeah. I know Steven and Ross; those guys have access to all those team sheets and everything that I entered. So I fully expect they're going to do a little bit more in-depth analysis as far as the teams and all that stuff. So I would expect to see a video shortly or soon on that one. And
Who
if
was
not,
that,
then maybe
Steven?
we'll jump on that one. So
Who's that?
Cool. Who did you say
DM
it was?
Armada, Steven.
Okay. That's what I thought you said. I wasn't sure.
So check out his channel for that, or articles or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think also there's a lot of things to shut down when fielded or things like that. And people probably get frustrated playing in their meta with people that they play with because the people know they're going to be playing that, so they tech against it. And they think, yeah, everyone's just going to bring this stuff. It doesn't make any sense to play it. That could... You playing in your meta could affect you. Not playing something also.
Yeah. True. It's happened to me plenty of times. Like when we went to, was it the WKO one time? I didn't want to do a super rare Yanti. I think Ryan, you said you would let me borrow it. And I was like, or somebody said they would let me borrow it. And I'm like, I don't even want to run it, man. I'm just gonna run my Fix-It team or whatever I ran that time, because I knew how to play it. So when you see people play and you know how frustrating it is, if you're competitive, yeah, you probably will do it if you're super competitive and that's what you want to do. Nothing wrong with that, because you do play to win when it comes to those situations. But also someone like me, where I get frustrated with that stuff and I don't want to play against it, I won't play it.
I mean, how many matches did you play against me with that Yanti team, us preparing for that WKO?
A bunch.
Like
and
hundreds.
I was just worn out. I was burned out just from practicing with you.
I remember shortly before that WKO in question, we had our PDC event down in Austin, and a couple of us drove down there for that, and I showed up. Me and a couple other guys showed up down there from Dallas, down in Austin, with that team, and all the local guys down there in Austin were like all had a gentleman's agreement. None of them were bringing it because they were so tired of playing against it. But they, of course, didn't. We weren't communicating with them on that. So yeah, we showed up with it, and it was just. It's a disgusting team. It really brutally
is.
Fast.
There's
fast.
variations on it too.
Yeah, well, there's variations on it, and you've got to know when to pivot, how to pilot it. It's not a brain dead team. You can't just go, "Oh, I roll and I win."
Yeah,
you've got to know what you're doing with it. You've got to get your reps in with it. But to reiterate the point Ben said earlier, you've got to play against other styles of teams to know what to do when. Yeah. And I think that's one of the reasons I did well in that tournament is I had played that team so much against so many other types of teams that I, sitting down in front of this other team, I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I need to do. And I had the whole tree built out. If he buys this, then I need to do this, and I need to get here and do this. And I was able to stay 2 or 3 steps ahead of everyone I was playing the whole time. I mean, the only match that was really it's literally just going to come down to dumb luck was the mirror match between me and another guy running the 99% same teams. I think we had one card that we did different on it.
I think on my team I ran just the glass cannon build, and if you didn't stop me within the first 4 turns you were going to lose, or I purchased wrong, and that only happened one match.
Mine wasn't the glass cannon build. Mine was still a cannon build. But I had the ability to at least recover slightly, and that's the only reason I won in that mirror match. Is his glass cannon didn't fire.
Yeah, because I was blowing people out at the WKO like quick. Yeah. It wasn't just Robert that I beat quick.
Well, and that was the whole reason, Robert, when you were like, hey, I'm thinking of running this at the WKO. I was like, dude, you can borrow it. I'm not playing it again. Yeah. I was running the event, but I brought a team as a backup just in case we needed an extra person, and I was running a Collector Navi team. I much prefer the play style of the Collector Navi, that control aspect versus the cannon. That's just the style of player I am. But yeah, I mean,
I think you beat me with that team too.
I might have. I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
It's a disgusting team when it works right. I really, it's actually the team I've been having a lot of fun with lately is the team I ran at the one big weekend online event, the Fetid Bloat Drone, Poison Ivy Black Adam one. And Lucan actually, when he sees me, he looks over at me. He's like, "You're the guy who ran that team at that." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "That team was out of nowhere, and wow, that gave me such a hard time." I was like, "Yeah, it's a fun one,
Fun for you."
It's a chess match, and I prefer the chess matches. I don't want it to go to time and be draws, but I want it to go to time and I want there to be that back and forth and that thinking and that strategy. The glass cannons, it's just one of those. I have to survive the cannon and take it out afterwards, or be the cannon.
Yeah.
And so that's
Be
why I'm
the
just not a
cannon.
fan of it.
Yeah. I mean, when they go off though, and that's what you hope for.
We had there was one team during Worlds. I don't remember who it was, but when they finally did their lethal blow, it was like 32 damage.
Yeah.
Well,
I did that on one turn.
It may have been you. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Who
It wasn't on
was.
stream though. It was.
Yeah,
it was
no,
my very
it wasn't
first
on
match.
stream. It was
Definitely
just,
not on stream.
Yeah,
but
it was
it's-
my very first match I played against the guy. I forget his name, but he was a really cool dude. He
I
got
think
aggressive and tried to do early
yeah,
damage.
Troy did it as well.
Yeah.
I mean, there
Probably,
or
yeah.
Shadow Meld maybe. I don't remember who it was, but there were several of those. They weren't quite glass cannons. It was a build up to get to it, but once it got there, it was unstoppable.
No. Mine was like
Yeah.
a turn 4,
Mine
32 to the face.
mine was infinite damage if I wanted it to be, and I had it on 2 games in Worlds, and when it went off, Steve and DM Armada came over to watch it because he essentially helped create the team and make it popular, and it's awkward to have that team go off, but when it goes off, the person can't do anything about it at all, and it's kind of crazy.
Which one? The one you ran just recently?
at
or-
Worlds.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
It's Redon.
Hope, Thunderbird, and Yondu.
Oh, that one. Okay. All right. Yeah, that one. Okay.
So now Ben has one other question here, and I think this will be our last question before we end for the night.
Yeah.
But it's, how do you feel about playing in an event like Worlds? Should you build your earlier tournament teams in order to get people to tech against the team while you're running something else at Worlds?
Yeah, I know he did.
Something
Like,
he did with 1010, knowing that he wasn't going to be running Iceman at Worlds, so he ran Iceman in 1010.
See, I think that's next level stuff. I think a lot of people already had their teams done.
No, there was still a lot of team building after 1010 and Global Escalation that happened. I talked to a lot of people on that, and for me, the competitive nature in me, that whole psych out thing is something you need to take into account. I've seen this happen numerous times, and I've used it myself, of keeping a better track of the time in a match and not letting my opponent know that there's still 20 minutes left in a match, and start fast playing, making it think like, oh, there's only 2 minutes left, and start making them think that the match is, needs to go faster, so they start making mistakes, and I've got plenty of time still.
Yeah.
Things like that. Again, that's piloting of the team. It's not just the dice and cards. You're also playing the person behind them. And any advantage you can get in those regards, whether you false out, a team earlier to make them think, oh, I'm going to see a lot more of this later, I need to tech against it.
Yeah.
Or messing with their head during the match. There's a gentleman who, any chance he gets, he will call for a judge. You guys know exactly who I'm talking about. For the silliest, stupidest, inane BS, he will call a judge over there just to get in the people's heads.
I think that's annoying, honestly. And I
That's
get
why
it.
he does
You're
it.
as a gamesmanship, but you're also taking the judge away from doing something else.
Yeah.
Somebody
Agreed.
might have a legit reason to call a judge, and you're over there calling them for something stupid just to get an advantage. Dude, just be good.
Yeah.
That's it.
And
I don't know.
again,
That's just
I'm
me,
not,
'cause I don't
I'm
do
not
those
saying
things.
it as in it was a bad thing to do. It's
Yeah.
the game. I mean, the
Yeah.
game allows for it. If you see that the person's getting rattled by it, why do you are you the type of person that would take advantage of it? I'll admit, in high level competitive play, I am one. I would do it.
Yeah.
That's also why I don't play in high level competitive play anymore. That's not what I think this community deserves.
I've also seen that same person who does that get dumpstered by a team, so I don't think.
Oh
it
yeah,
generally
no.
works.
By no means is the person we're talking about winning every match just because they're doing that. It is a tool in their toolbox, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And nothing against him. I know because that probably sounded a little aggro, but nothing against him. Is a good dude because I played him twice. I think I know Chris played him. I played him. He's a good dude. I just don't
Very
care
good
for
dude.
that type of play. That's just
Right.
me, and that's in everything, not just Dice Master. That's everything.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just me. Bye, Mel.
But again, by Mel, but again, if you're dealing with, casual play, there's no reason for that in casual play in any way, shape, or form.
For sure.
But when you are at the top level, competitive level play, nationals and worlds level events,
Everything's on the table, so to speak.
everything's on the table. Now, I mean, these aren't cash money games, but I mean, this is something we are passionate about. This is, and so why would you not use every tool in your toolbox available to you?
Yeah.
So that's my
hear
2
ya.
cents on it. So,
Yep. And yeah, just to I guess recap that, there's nothing wrong with what you did there, Ben. Nothing against it. If you're not going to run something and they're totally different events, you know what I mean? Who
Mhm.
cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if somebody
No,
thought you were
I
going to
know-
play
I
the
know-
exact same team in every single event, that's on them.
Yeah.
yeah, I know a lot of competitive level players that will go into the pre-events, the side events beforehand, with stuff that they know they don't want to see, to try to get people to think, though, this is what they're going to be running, so that when they show up to the event, they can play something completely different and throw everyone for a loop. It's
sure.
all mind games, and that's what you got to do to be the top level players.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm not a top level player, because you pretty much know what I'm going to be running.
Well, we pretty much tell everybody what we're running like every time we're on stream, so it's
Yeah.
fine. It's not a surprise to anybody.
Yeah. I just
Um,
like talking about stuff, so that's really what it boils down to. So
True. Well, everyone can tune in next week to hear us talk about more stuff. Next week, just a reminder: next Friday. Wait, is it? Yeah, next
Not
Friday.
this Friday, but next Friday.
Next Friday is the last day to get signed up for the 2-team Takedown Legacy Season 2 event. So long to say. So sign up. You don't have to have your team submitted until then. And sign up for our Patreon if you want to get some sweet, sweet stuff. Links are in the descriptions.
and we'll talk about what is going to be up for the raffle this month. We need to decide on that since we're allowing many more people to join in. So
Well, I
Awesome.
think that's a discussion we'll have in the Patreon-only Discord channel, since they're the ones that will be winning the prizing.
That's true.
and
Join
we'll-
Patreon and you get to join the chat.
we'll open that up in our Patreon Discord channel next month or next week, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or is it going to be opened up on after
I
they're
think
added?
that's something we can start discussing now
Okay.
in that channel. I mean,
Okay.
Cool.
see,
Well, all right.
if you're an active patron, you can get, vote in what you think, what you would like to see as the prizing.
Vote for Pedro.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
You want to roll them credits?
Yep.
All right, guys. Bye. That's going to wrap things up for us here in the CR Game Room. Check out our website, crgr.rocks, for all our latest info. There you'll find a link to help support us via Patreon. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Join our conversations on Discord. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for hanging out.